The stars have always whispered secrets to those who dare to listen. On a warm August night in 1977, the universe itself seemed to exhale a chilling breath, casting an eerie signal across the void. Jerry Eman, a diligent volunteer at the Big Ear Radio Observatory in Delaware, Ohio, leaned in closer to the data, his eyes widening as he scribbled a single word in red ink. Wow. The WOW signal, a cryptic 72-second transmission from deep space, pulsed with a haunting regularity, as if a distant intelligence was reaching out, testing the boundaries of human comprehension. Its origin, shrouded in mystery, evoked the unsettling notion that we are not alone in the universe. The signal was potent, a spectral whisper from the abyss, beckoning humanity to delve deeper into the cosmic unknown, and it set the stage for a series of chain reactions that forever changes what we think about our world and our existence. It's precisely the tangible link that connects the heavens with the earth when darkness falls. A mysterious message from space, shrouded in mystery, evoked the unsettling notion that we are not alone. The signal was potent, a spectral whisper from the abyss, beckoning humanity to delve deeper into the cosmic unknown. As scientists pored over the data, a chilling thought began to take root. What if this message was not a mere anomaly, but a deliberate attempt at communication?
The WOW signal could be a cosmic greeting from an advanced alien civilization, inviting us to engage in the greatest conversation humanity could ever have.
Some have proposed the idea that the WOW signal was sent by a future human civilization that has developed the technology to send messages back in time. This theory suggests that our future selves might be trying to communicate with us, warning us of impending dangers or guiding us toward technological advancements.
But as our gaze shifts from the stars and descends back to Earth, we find that mysteries are not confined to the heavens and that all things are connected. Beneath the sands of time, hidden within the vast, arid expanse of the Egyptian desert, another enigma awaited discovery. In 1945, near the town of Nag Hammadi, an unsuspecting farmer unearthed a sealed jar buried in the rocky soil. Inside lay a collection of ancient papyrus texts, their brittle pages whispering secrets long forgotten. These texts, now known as the Nag Hammadi Scrolls, contained early Christian and Gnostic writings, their words steeped in mysticism and forbidden knowledge. The discovery was like a spectral whisper from the past, echoing through the corridors of history, as scholars painstakingly translated the scrolls. Just as researchers attempted to decode the WOW signal many years later, they unearthed profound and often unsettling insights into early spiritual beliefs, casting a haunting light on humanity's perpetual quest for understanding, a challenge to everything we thought we ever knew about the history of the Bible, that only evoked more questions than answers.
Researchers have even suggested that the WOW signal was a message from a parallel universe or another dimension. This theory posits that advanced beings from another realm may have discovered a way to breach the barriers between dimensions and send signals across these boundaries. One also has to wonder about the precise timing of both the Nag Hammadi Scrolls and the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1947, we see several significant incidents that coincidentally happened in deserts on two different sides of the world.
Two different sides, indeed. Not only were the Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in 1947, but something very unusual also happened in Roswell, New Mexico at that same time. It's said that the wreckage of an alien craft and its occupants were discovered on one dark, stormy night on July 8, 1947. There are those who believe advanced technology was retrieved from the crash site. Strangely, the transistor, the exact advancement that initiated the age of technology and computers, was discovered that very same year. Transistor technology, disruptive ancient texts, and the crash of an alien spaceship all appeared at the exact same time in our history, precisely 30 years later, almost to the day. The WOW signal also awakened researchers to the very real and tangible proof that we are not alone in the universe, and that somebody or something was attempting to contact us.
What I find quite remarkable is that we have several very pivotal events happen at the same time in 1947. And it's the same year we make major advancements in communication and computer science. On the spirituality side, the churches and theologians are not comfortable letting us know precisely what was discovered at Nag Hammadi and in the Dead Sea Scrolls, while at the same time, government, mainstream scientists, and the military-industrial complex also want to bury the idea that anything unusual happened at Roswell.
Nothing to see here and nothing unusual at all, right?
What I find unusual is that we have this convergence of spiritual and alien intelligence happening at the same time, and all of it relates to some higher awareness and communication across the boundaries of time and space.
As humanity hurtles forward in its technological prowess, unearthing ancient religious relics and contemplating the existence of extraterrestrial life, a chilling pattern begins to emerge. These seemingly disparate discoveries weave together a tapestry of eerie synchronicity, suggesting that we are part of a vast, incomprehensible plot. For technology, advancing at a pace once thought impossible, unlocks secrets that perhaps should have remained hidden. The eerie transmission of the WOW signal, a cryptic message from the stars, teases us with the possibility that we are not alone, that other intelligences are watching and waiting. But what if they are not merely observing? What if they are orchestrating? And most importantly, are they angels or demons? Beneath the sands of Egypt, the Nag Hammadi scrolls whisper forgotten knowledge, revealing ancient truths that challenge our understanding of faith and existence. These texts, steeped in mysticism, hint at a reality where divine and extraterrestrial entities blur, their intentions shrouded in shadow.
I don't think it's necessarily a matter of aliens or extraterrestrials existing. The real question is, what are they? Who are they? What do they want from us?
These discoveries converge, a sinister picture form. An intelligence far beyond our comprehension is toying with us, manipulating our progress, guiding our discoveries. Are we mere pawns in a cosmic game, pieces moved by an unseen hand? The unsettling thought creeps in that our greatest technological achievements and our most sacred relics are not entirely of our own making, but part of a grand design or an elaborate deception. In this dark narrative, humanity stands at the edge of an abyss, peering into the void, realizing that the answers we seek may not bring comfort, but dread. We are left to wonder if we are players in a game whose rules we cannot fathom, manipulated by forces beyond our understanding, caught in a web of cosmic intrigue where the line between reality and fiction blurs into a chilling unknown.
I think there are certainly numerous moments in history when we have released demons, naively thinking that perhaps we were dealing with something else.
In the heart of New York City, 24-year-old Emily Jacobs led an ordinary life, working at an advertising agency by day and exploring the city by night. One foggy evening, as she walked through the East Village, an intense light engulfed. She felt herself lifted off the ground, unable to scream as the world vanished into blinding whiteness.
What's truly chilling about this particular story is that there were literally hundreds of people who witnessed something very unusual that same night, and many saw Emily apparently vanish into thin air with a brilliant flash of indigo light.
Police are investigating a strange story that occurred late last night in the East Village, where
Emily awoke in some kind of operating room, restrained on a table. Panic surged as emotionless beings with large, dark eyes entered, communicating through resonating vibrations. They probed her mind, revealing a nightmarish vision. Vast underground chambers where humans were harvested like livestock, suspended in eerie, glowing pods.
She saw horrific scenes of humans dissected, organs cataloged, and grotesque hybrids created in agony. The most terrifying revelation was the purpose. Humans were bred and harvested to sustain an ancient, dying alien race. They consumed human fear and despair as nourishment, turning our suffering into their lifeblood.
Emily's mind shattered under this knowledge. The aliens returned her to the alleyway, where the city buzzed on, oblivious. She stumbled home, half naked and haunted by the images and the knowledge that beneath the city's normalcy lay a dark truth. She knew she could tell no one. Who would believe her? Every night, Emily was tormented by the realization that humans were not masters of their destiny, but pawns in a sinister alien plot. As she lay in bed, the faint hum of otherworldly machines echoed in her mind.
Oh my God, just make it stop. I can feel them under my skin.
They were always watching, waiting to harvest their next meal.
There are numerous elements of Emily's story which suggest it actually happened. There are witnesses' medical evidence, and of course there is the key trigger in Emily's story, which we will discuss later. This really happened, and it's probably the reason why nobody should sleep soundly tonight.
With Emily's case in mind, let's consider the Watchers, as found in the ancient text from the Book of Enoch, part of the ancient documents found in Qumran in 1947. The Watchers, led by Samyaza, a group linked to Satan, were 200 angels sent to watch over humankind. They rebelled and mated with humans. There are those who say this paints this as liberation for humanity. Is there a connection between modern-day alien abductions and this ancient legion of Satan, as told in these 1,000-year-old texts discovered the same year as the Roswell crash?
It was Satan who gave us the tools of civilization. It is quite possible that our religious traditions and those who selected the old holy texts some thousands of years ago made an evil figure out of Lucifer and the devil, and maybe it was the other way around. Is it possible that Satan was the good one? Or is that simply what he wants us to believe? It's rather unusual that we would discover these ancient texts at the precise moment that ushered in the modern age of alien visitors.
If you carefully analyze the research on the WOW signal, in particular the 1981 sound analysis study, we see a very meticulously encoded message embedded in the signal. Later analysis in 2022 revealed something even more stunning. There's a very clear message in that signal.
So what common message exists between the ancient religious scrolls, the WOW signal, the Roswell crash, and Emily's story?
Clearly someone or something is trying to send us a message. They're trying to tell their story, their version of events. It's like we've been living in a completely false reality. It's like something is happening in our world right now. Something is happening outside of our control and our ability to understand.
In a remote village in Peru, near La Rinconada, in the Andes Mountains, 3 children were diagnosed with a strange disorder. They were initially believed to be suffering from Stoneman syndrome or progressive fibrodysplasia ossificans, but closer inspection revealed something more sinister.
They'd been exposed to some kind of radioactivity, but of course there were no possible sources. A child psychologist by the name of Dr. Hector Alcala began to investigate their story closer, and it was discovered that the children could also speak an ancient language of the Inca, a language that was completely extinct for nearly 500 years. But it wasn't that alone that was so startling. What really shocked everyone is the message they had to share. They said they had been visited numerous times by a being with the ancient Incan name of Viracocha, who said that our world was just an illusion created by the gods for their own amusement. But something had gone wrong. There was a more sinister force ruling our world now, and we were completely at their mercy unless we changed our way.
For the past 50 years, maybe longer, from around the world, a series of strange events were slowly piling up with a growing body of evidence to suggest that nothing is as it seems.
The 2022 study of the WOW signal showed a very distinct series of markers that we were able to slowly discern was an encoded message which could be translated from a binary code, a series of negative and positive pulses revealing a message. The message was mind-blowing, quite frankly.
I think that what's very disturbing about the case in Peru is that a group of American evangelical Christians eventually got involved, and we later learned that the children had been murdered. It was called satanic ritual abuse, but of course that was completely false, crazy in fact. These so-called Christians were obviously behind it and simply wanted the message silenced. They had those children killed.
What we got from the WOW signal essentially worked out to be, we're here, we've always been here, we are among you, and we control your world.
We're here, we've always been here, we control your world. Who or what said it? What does it mean? And why? (1938) Berlin, Germany. A high-level meeting between Nazi Reichsführer of the Schutzstaffel, Heinrich Himmler, the founder of the infamously evil and elite force known as the SS, and loyal scholar Victor von Rath, an elite young member of Himmler's staff. Not only was von Rath an ardent Nazi, he also firmly believed he knew the location of an ancient text that was so valuable, he and Himmler were willing to do anything to get it in their hands. That summer, a secret expedition was mounted that took a small expeditionary force of archaeologists, linguists, and SS officers throughout the ancient world and the Middle East in search of this document.
They called it the Schattenbuch, Book of Shadows, or Codex of the Black Sun. We later learned it was also known as the Zed Scrolls. Did they find it? There are some who say they did. In fact, I believe they did, and what it contained, or more controversially, who wrote it, is absolutely terrifying.
It was the Book of the Devil. That was it, exactly. It was actually believed that the Zed document was actually written by Satan himself.
What primordial force might be unleashed by such a document, if anyone possessed it? If the Zed document was found, where is it now? Who has it?
There is zero doubt in my mind that Victor von Rath actually found it. In fact, before the end of World War II, he was admitted to an asylum for the mentally insane. It's not clear whether he committed suicide or was murdered, but he didn't make it out of there alive. Whatever he learned or discovered from this Codex of the Black Sun clearly caused him to lose his mind.
Could it be that the Nazis actually discovered and possessed a book written by the devil himself? And if they did, where is it now?
Oh, it's no secret of what happened with it. After the war, it disappeared for about 20 years, but it eventually resurfaced.
I don't think there's anybody that really wants to find it, but at the same time, this is something that truly changes everything.
What is the possible link between all of these different stories and incidents? To be clear, the answer is becoming disturbingly obvious.
What we think our reality is versus what is actually happening are two completely different things. This isn't a matter of government secrets or powerful secret societies exactly, because the reality is they simply don't have a clue. The truth is, there are multiple planes of existence interacting on an ongoing basis and shadow worlds that exist among us. That can be easily proved.
Shadow worlds. What does that mean exactly? Do we even exist? Over the past 20 years, London-based psychologist Dr. Logan Oliver has compiled case studies of completely normal people who became caught up in something dark beyond comprehension.
In the heart of London, amidst the bustling streets, I encountered Hannah Miller. She came to me, a therapist, with deep, unshakable terror. Her eyes darted nervously, as if watched by unseen forces. Hannah lived in the East End. One night, she awoke at precisely 3:33 a.m. with an overwhelming sense of dread. She heard a faint tapping from the hallway, which grew louder. Her bedroom door creaked open to reveal a tall, gaunt man with hollow eyes, emanating malevolence, paralyzed with fear. Hannah watched as the room twisted into a vast underground chamber filled with archaic symbols and grotesque statues. At the center was an altar surrounded by chanting figures she recognized from her life, people who had vanished. The man pointed to the altar, and Hannah felt an invisible force pulling her towards it. The chanting grew louder, a dreadful harmony. The man began a ritual, flooding her mind with visions of humans harvested like cattle for ancient malevolent beings that fed on despair and suffering. She saw herself among them, a pawn in their horrific game. The man placed his hand on her forehead, speaking directly into her mind. "You are but one of many. We have always been here, and we will always be. Your suffering sustains us." Hannah awoke screaming in her bed, the oppressive feeling lingering. She withdrew from the world, haunted by the knowledge of ancient, malevolent forces. In our sessions, she glanced over her shoulder, convinced the hollow-eyed man was watching. One day, she stopped coming. Her flat was found empty, the door ajar. Locals spoke of strange lights and whispers. Her tale began to affect me. I dreamed of the chamber and the chanting figures. The boundary between her nightmare and my reality began to blur. Now, whenever I found myself in my office at 3:30 in the morning, the shadows pulse with life. The air thickens. I realize with cold dread that her story is far from over, and that I, too, may be drawn into the darkness that took hold of her. I still don't understand what happened with Hannah, and to this day, I tend to believe she was eventually taken away by whatever haunted her. Quite frankly, I now have the same dread for myself.
The case of Hannah Miller was thoroughly investigated by both London police and private detectives hired by her family. To this day, other than Hannah's recorded story, her disappearance remains completely unsolved. The signal received from space in 1977 ignited an interest in mainstream researchers that intelligent life beyond our world was a reality. Ancient scrolls found in the desert, the very same year as the Roswell crash, transformed our understanding of previous religious texts such as the Bible. The almost inexplicable and rapid evolution of technology that coincided with these historical events cannot be denied. Likewise, the documented event in a remote Peruvian village demonstrated that Andean children were in communication with something that was beyond our current understanding, and that sinister forces conspired to keep this evidence a secret. In the late 1930s, Nazi researchers discovered something so shocking that it could turn the world upside down and may have unleashed a dark power of unfathomable evil that remained dormant for thousands of years. Researchers all over the world are coming to the chilling conclusion that people are disappearing at an accelerated rate. Some have attributed this to alien abduction or satanic groups, even serial killers. But there is reason to believe that something even more fearful and even more dark and sinister is behind it. These are the things that haunt our minds and populate our nightmares. These are the things that make it nearly impossible to sleep soundly at night. These are the things that are taking place right now. It's all around us when darkness falls.